Hey, before we jump in this video, I do want to mention that if you're in need of any equipment, any kind of barbering equipment, and you see something that you like in these videos, they're all linked below. And I do want to let you know they are affiliate links. And if you don't know what affiliate link is, it basically just means if you click on that link and you purchase that item, I get a small kickback. It's no cost to you, so the item isn't more money or anything like that. And when I say a small kickback, it's a very small kickback. So that's just one way you can support my channel without it costing you any money except the money that you're going to spend on that piece of equipment that you wanted. So I really appreciate it, guys. Also, I wanted to mention we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I want to ask you guys if I can get your help. Tell a friend, see if they'll be willing to come check out the channel, and if they like it, they can subscribe, and if they don't, I get it. They don't have to. So again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the support, especially you guys who have been there from the beginning. It's amazing. Never thought I'd be at 1,000 subscribers, but we're getting close. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Until the next one. So what we got today, guys, is dark hair. He's kind of got a thicker texture, so we are actually going to do a mid-bald fade. And then he does a textured look, you know, kind of messy up into the side. But I just want to concentrate on one side with you guys and try to give you guys a close-up on what I'm doing and how I do it, so you can see when I use my corners and when I don't. The first thing we want to start is we want to debulk a little bit, just so we can kind of see what we're doing. And I always use my Andis Supers for that. This is the number 2. I always end with a 2. And if you use plastic guards, this would technically be about a 1.5. So we're just gonna debulk. And when you go, you don't want to dig into his head. Come straight up. And it's okay if you leave a little bit of weight up there. We'll get rid of that once we're done with the blend. And then here I'm just gonna kind of go around the whole head and debulk. And if you are interested in getting any of these clippers or anything, there will be links in the description that you can go and check them out and grab them if you'd like. All right, once we kind of debulk up there, now we're gonna put on our bald line. He does about a mid, so we're gonna start not halfway in the C cup here, but a little lower. And we wanna kind of curve it to the shape of his head. And if you can see, I kind of use my corners to draw in the line. Just makes it easier. And once you get back here, you can kind of flatten it out and do bigger strokes. When you're using a trimmer to bald someone out, make sure you got a decent trimmer and the blades are sharp. These aren't meant to take this much hair off, but if you have a decent trimmer, you should have no problem and it won't pull or anything. So because his skin's so white here and his hair's so dark, it's gonna show a good transition. Yeah, I just called you white, bro. So as you do the bald line, you wanna end in the middle of his head and then come over to this side and start it again. It just makes it easier. Stand in front of him, see where that line is, just so it's even on each side. If you start a haircut with a good base, and everything's even, it's fairly easy to keep it even throughout the whole cut. When your client has a beard too, and you're doing a skin fade, you're gonna wanna blend in that beard for them. So don't take it too low, kind of halfway, because anywhere from the earlobe to the bottom of the nose, that's technically a sideburn. So you wanna try to get that blend from there to there. All right, now that we've done that, we're gonna set in our first guideline, and that's no guard, lever open. And then we're gonna go probably on this cut, I would say a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch up. And here again, you can see I'm not just plowing my whole clipper, I'm using my corners so we can get that rounded look. And with a fade, I like to use a brush because it cleans away any of the excess hair so you can see a little better. And you just kind of do that all the way through. Now, because we don't have a guard on our clipper, I'm gonna go ahead and set my first guideline in on the beard as well. And here, when you do it, you wanna start, don't lay the clipper flat, kinda start up, and then as you go in, you kinda wanna flatten it out. And that just helps to not take too much length off, especially, you know, blending in a beard, you have a shorter distance to blend. A lot of it's corners too. And again, while we don't have a guard, we're gonna go ahead and take this guideline out. Close the lever, use your corners. And just go up a tiny bit. I would say 1/8 of an inch. And then open your lever a little bit, use your corners again, and go up a little further. And there'll be times where you have to kind of close your lever again and play with the lever, open, close, until you get that right length. And it doesn't have to be perfect right now. We're gonna go back in detail once the cut's totally done and the rest of the blend is in, so we can really see, you know, areas we missed. All right, once we kind of soften that first guideline out, we are going to grab the wall, one guard. Now with wall, they do have a 1/2, and I skip that guard. I do use it in the end, you'll see when I do, but I'll skip it for now. So again, because I have the one guard, we're gonna go ahead and just continue blending this beard in while we're right here. And again, same thing, start here and then kind of scoop in. Brush it down, close the lever. All right, now, same guideline, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, lever open. This is the one guard, and then go straight up. And then once we do that, we're gonna close the lever and we're gonna soften this line up. It's not gonna take the line totally out. That's where that 1/2 guard will come in. We're just kind of softening it up so it's easier to take out. And then you go ahead and do that all the way around. All right, now we did that. This is the wall 1.5. This is the guard I will end with. And now we're just gonna clean up the transition from that one open to that 2 we put in earlier to debulk. So here again, we're going straight up, don't dig in. And don't worry too much if this line's not going, it's not disappearing totally. We're gonna work our way back down with our guards real quick and it'll clean that all up. So now we're gonna work our way back down. We'll grab our one guard, lever open, and that's when you wanna use the corners again. Soften that line up. kind of flicking out a little bit. And typically, if I wasn't recording this cut, I would spin them, you know, as I'm doing this, instead of walking them around. That actually saves you some time. All right, now that's done. Now we're gonna grab that half guard. Now this is where it's gonna bring the fade together. That last line right there, we're gonna get rid of. So start about halfway. Use your corners. And brush away the excess hair. Now here you're gonna have to play with the lever, open it a little bit, use the corners, close it a little bit. And don't be scared, if you kind of put in a small line, that's okay. We're gonna detail it out with our one guard. And just do that all the way around. All right, now we're gonna grab our one guard, lever close, use your corners. Here we're just detailing everything. Now we're gonna do no guard, lever open, and we're gonna clean up some of these lines I see here. Again, make sure you're using your corners quite a bit. The cut's basically, the blend's basically done. We're just detailing before we get our shears out to do the top. I always like to do the dry work first, and then we'll do the wet with your shears and everything, just so we don't have to go back and forth, clippers to shears. I'll make sure you check in the mirror. It's looking pretty good. I see a couple areas I need to touch up. All right, let's go ahead and do the top here. A lot of this weight here we're gonna get rid of from the top. So he likes to wear his hair forward and up. So here he likes to wear it forward and then kind of to this side. So we want to start with our highest point, which is over here. And we're just gonna trim it. We gotta remember, this is the highest point of his head. So if we want the hair actually even, technically, this point's gonna be shorter than this point. We are gonna go back in and point cut the top too. This is where we kind of clean up that weight on the side here. And then we'll use a shear over comb, or you can do clipper over comb. Whatever you prefer. Through right here. And you kind of go straight up. Don't dig in. All right, once we kind of went around once, we're gonna double check everything. And then I like to look right here, and then you can see if you missed any areas, which I did. It is common. Make sure you use your mirrors. I think everything's looking good. We're gonna grab our 1.5 guard and just run over it with the lever open up here. Kind of get rid of any ledges you might have left with the shears. And now, I'm gonna blow them off, clean them up, and we're gonna point cut them and style it. I actually see one area that I need to detail real quick. It's right here. This is the 1 guard lever open. There we go, just using the corners, knocked it out real quick. That's it. All right, we are gonna use uppercut. This is the matte pomade. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you know that I'm really loving that stuff, man. I think it's great for that dry look. As you're point cutting, you wanna make sure you do few cuts, but deeper cuts. I mean, obviously his hair's only so long, so you can only go as deep as you can, but better do a couple big cuts than a bunch of little tiny cuts. Once you do that, you want to blow off that excess hair. And then this stuff here, you just need a little bit. I mean, just a tiny bit. That might even be too much, but then get it in your hand. You want to start in the front and work your way back, and then really work it in. Now we just gotta skin them out and then clean up his C cups here, but that's basically the cut. Typically I would clean the whole beard up and everything, but in the state of Florida, it's kind of tough when the clients have to wear masks right now. It's not mandatory, but we're trying to, you know, ease people into this whole coming out of quarantine. So starting Monday, we're actually going to allow clients not to wear the mask. It's been a month, so hopefully it doesn't freak people out. The reason I wait till the very last thing to skin my clients out is I don't want to have to skin them out and then once I'm totally done, come back and do his neckline. I would rather just do it all at once. So when you're doing it, you want to go down, soften everything up, and then come up. And as you come up, you can kind of flick out, and that won't leave any line. Come down, and then go up. Just like that, all the way around. But that's the cut, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Appreciate it.